After reading through the Bible so many times in my life, it always seemed that there were some pieces missing, such as Genesis 6, the giants. There's mention of giants in the Old Testament, but not as much detail as I would have liked. In fact, there seemed to be more truth in the media and in movies as far as the actual height and stature of these giants. But I always was hoping that there would be other texts available so that I could learn and read more as to exactly who these giants were and how they related to what's going on in the world today. Hebrew Hawaiian Family Ministry is one that we have prayed over and that we are so excited to share these nuggets of truth that we get from reading the Bible, as well as extra biblicals, as well as ancient texts that have been removed over the years, and learning the detail and the backstories of biblical truths and biblical stories really helps them to come alive. We would love to have you join us and be a part of our ministry as we review the ancient languages of Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, and as we read through the additional material now available to us in English that gives such a deeper meaning to biblical accounts such as the golden calf, the Ten Commandments, and the giants, and how they still play a role in our lives today. The media loves to put these heroes, these famous ones of old, in the spotlight, and that's how it's always been. But as a truth-seeking community, it is so important to utilize the research of others who are on the same path as we are, the path to learning the whole truth about the ancient deities, about the modern idols, and how they're related, how they're the same entities. These accounts of the patriarchs, such as Job or Iyov, help us to increase our own personal faith in the Most High. By learning the details of what Iyov endured, it can help us as we're going through our own trials. By learning exactly what happened in the garden with Adam and Havah and the serpent, can help us to see the relationship to what we're going through today. And what was the role of the serpent in all this? There's so much symbology involving serpents through so many different cultures. It's important to read books outside the Bible in order for us to understand it with a deeper meaning and use our history that has been stolen from us and is now being revealed as knowledge increases in the last days. Did you ever wonder how the Most High called Abraham and hear of his encounter with Nimrod and the fiery furnace? These and other stories are readily available to all of us, and we look forward to sharing with you and to hearing your ideas and your research about these ancient books. We can discover how each apostle wrote books of their own that should have been included and that were included in the early church manuscripts. We all study together, and we all have something to bring to the table as far as our own individual research. So please join us on Saturday evenings for Hebrew class and backstory time on both this YouTube channel, Hebrew Hawaiian, and on Discord with Sacred Word Publishing. We look forward to studying and learning together with you as an online ecclesia, our extended ohana, as we support each other in a world where truth is very hard to find. Blessings to all of you, and Shaloha. Shalom, Shaloha everybody. Thank you guys for joining us today. I see some of you in the chat already. Thank you guys for monitoring and welcoming everyone coming in.
Yep. Hi Shay. Hi Adrian. Hi Tammy.
Good to see you
We
guys.
noticed that you guys are here already. Good. Yeah, not many people are gonna watch this show because Lisa has a topic that not many people want to know about. Right, honey? What do you got? What do you share? You can share about Halloween, right?
Yeah, or some people call it Samhain. It's the
Samhain.
yeah, it's a high level ritual day that we don't celebrate anymore. But it's also a great opportunity because you have children coming right to your door to pass out tracts, and I'm going to be teaching on the kind of candy to not give them.
Oh. In other words, if you can't give it to them, you can't eat it also. So just keep that in mind, Tammy. All right.
And then you have a topic that
I'm
you're
gonna-
prepared to.
Yeah, but we're gonna go with yours first because yours is again dealing with upcoming events. So, but thanks for joining us, everybody, and we will again open up in prayer. And
Okay.
go ahead, honey.
All right. Dear Abba Father, we thank you so much for giving us this chance to do ministry together as a family, and we ask you to have your hands on all the tech and speak through Noble and me as we're sharing information about keeping our temples going so that we can serve you better. We ask you to have your hands on all those who are with us today and to bless everyone who is part of our ministry and to bring those that need to hear this message here. We ask all this in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Amen. All right. So with that, honey, I will depart. You guys got Lisa all to yourself now.
Okay. So this is going to be kind of a short presentation because Noble has something to talk about after I'm done here. So Isaac, you want to put the screen up? Put me in the corner. We know that this, if you guys have gone to the store recently or basically anywhere for the past month or so, they've had quite a few decorations up already. Maybe some of your neighbors like ours have pumpkins in front of their house, spider webs, skeletons, all kinds of stuff to just celebrate this kind of horrible satanic holy day is what they call it, when they have a lot of rituals that happen. And one of those rituals is called trick-or-treating. Sure you guys know what that is. But to me, it's just like a great witnessing opportunity. Ever since I was little, my mom always had these tracts made by a company called Jack Chick Ministries. So if you'd like to order some online, they still can deliver to you to get them in time for this day on October 31st. And then you can just attach something, I would say something healthy, maybe some gummy bears made with fruit or something that's not the candy I'm just about to present here. So the first type of candy we're going to go over is one of my personal favorites, and I think it's Isaac's too. I used to eat these like crazy. Reese's, they now have them in the shape of pumpkins, and there's a lot of ingredients in the candies I'm going to go over that I didn't realize were so bad for you, especially in American candy. I noticed that in other countries that, and we'll see this in some slides coming up, that they've removed some of these ingredients. And I noticed when we travel overseas, if we would buy food or packaged items that are the same brand as in America, they seem to taste better. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried having a Coke that's from Mexico, but to me, I've tried that, and there's only just a few ingredients in there, no preservatives. They don't use corn syrup, they use regular cane sugar. So even though Coke is not a good thing to drink, if you're gonna drink it outside the US. So let's start here. Halloween candy with scary ingredients. And this is from the Food Babe. She has a great page on Instagram and Facebook as well. If Terry Todd is watching, I know this is one of your personal favorites, Terry. So one of the ingredients that she lists on here is an artificial flavor called vanillin. It's made in a lab from wood and petrochemicals. It's much cheaper than real vanilla. And that's another thing too. That's what Mexico is known for, is having really good vanilla. So I'm sure that in their things that they sell in their stores, they don't include this.
Vanillin looks very much like vanilla in spelling.
Yeah, it does.
So when you look briefly at it, you don't realize that it's not really vanilla.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
How deceitful.
Yep. So make sure you look at all the ingredients of anything you buy so that you're not wasting your money on just buying poison that's going to hurt your body. And the other ingredient that she mentions here is TBHQ. It's a controversial preservative that may harm the immune system and increase the risk of food allergies. Here's the next candy, M&Ms. This was one of my personal favorites. I was telling Noble, I used to, when I was a social worker and I would drive around to visit different foster homes and go to court, go to different meetings, I always carried one of these huge bags in my car because I was always hungry for M&Ms. And along with Diet Coke, I used to have a horrible diet. So because I was on the road all day, I didn't have time to stop and even get real food to eat. So I would carry this with me in the car so in case I got hungry. So here's all the horrible things about M&Ms. There's 10 artificial colors. Blue 1 lake, yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, yellow 6 lake, red 40 lake, yellow 5 lake. I'm not sure what's up with the lake thing. I haven't seen that before. Blue 2 lake and blue 2. All of these are linked to hyperactivity in children and can disrupt the immune system. And then the artificial flavors, chemical mixtures produced by fractional distillation and chemical manipulation of various chemicals like crude oil or coal tar. Who wants to eat some crude oil? Of course, we know hopefully all of you are aware about corn syrup. Anything automatic, if there's corn syrup in it, it's not worth your money. That's just a toxin, a poison right there. It's a heavily processed form of sugar made from the starch of GMO corn. So not only are you getting something that's moldy from moldy corn, but you're getting your dose of GMOs right there.
Wow, I noticed that there's no M&M almonds on there. So is it right to eat M&M almonds?
Probably not.
Ah,
It's got the same chocolate and the same food coloring.
You're spoiling it, honey.
When Isaac was little and he had some issues with hyperactivity, I would allow him to eat M&Ms once in a great while, but he could not eat the red ones. He probably remembers that because red 40 is just, that I could tell is instantly if he ate something that had red 40 in it.
Okay, Patrick has a good question.
Okay.
He's asking, are the green M&Ms green? Green 7, blue 1 plus yellow 6.
Oh.
Combination.
Yeah, I noticed they don't have all the colors on here. And those were my personal favorite, the green M&Ms, but it would make sense that it has to do something with the mixture of blue and yellow.
The color wheel, right? So just
Yeah.
I think Patrick's on it,
Yeah.
Blue one lake and yellow 6. So you have green 7 lake. Good math, Patrick.
Yeah, good point, Patrick. Thank you. All right, next one, Skittles. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but they've actually been in the mainstream news this past month as the EU. If you look at the top right here,
What's the EU stand for?
the European Union, his top food safety agency says this is no longer considered safe for human consumption. So it's basically like I was telling Noble earlier, you're chewing on melted plastic mixed with corn syrup and food, a whole bunch of different food dyes. If you look down there, you see the 8 artificial colors. I'm not going to go through all of them again. It's the same like M&Ms, but even worse because this has like no nutritional value whatsoever, and you're just eating plastic. And then again, you got the corn syrup. So, yeah, they outlawed these in all EU nations. They will not sell Skittles anymore because they're so bad for you. So, pass on the Skittles.
Oh man, I love Skittles and I love Starburst. You gotta mention Skittles is made with Starburst inside, right?
Skittles and Starburst have very similar ingredients, and so Starburst is also out. Although I don't have a slide on that, it's the same plasticky, gross
no, but
ingredients.
See, Skittles has the hard candy outside. That could be the plastic part, right? And the Starburst not so plasticky.
No, it's the inside too. It's just mixed with corn syrup, so the inside gets softer, and then the outside is probably kind of the
Still got a
same.
bag of strawberry Starburst. Strawberry, that's my favorite flavor. So,
We'll have to find an alternative. Maybe there's something healthy that kind of, because I used to love Starburst too, and Skittles, but now I realize why they made me so sick. So, I don't know if any of you grew up with these cereals. I remember going to a friend's house when I was little and wondering why they were eating something that had chocolate on it, and I never was allowed to have anything boxed cereal. My mom made her own granola for all of us to eat, homemade, so she made sure there's no sugar in there. It was made with honey and all organic ingredients. But if you've ever tasted any of these, artificial colors are derived from petroleum linked to several health issues, including allergies and hyperactivity in children, which require a warning label in Europe. May also be contaminated with carcinogens and disrupt the immune system. So these seem like that in the grocery stores you see these a lot more around this time of year when parents are trying to make their children happy with Halloween themed cereal as well as candy. So stay away from these.
I used to eat that Count Chocula, so, oh man, I'm so sad. This is very important for parents and grandparents to watch so that their kids and grandchildren, right, Marvalee, will know that certain candies are not good to eat and or to consume, and again, because of the fact that it can have so much health issues. Marvalee's on the chat.
Oh, hi. Yes. Yeah, really monitor, especially, it seems like almost every cereal that is out there that's targeted for children has horrible ingredients in it. So make sure you always read the label.
And, Patrick says that Skittles have aluminum phosphate inside them, so.
Oh, heavy metals then too.
Heavy metals too,
Wow.
so not only plastic, but metals. So, we're all gonna be artificially made.
Yeah, it's worse than drinking water that's in plastic bottles because you're actually just eating the plastic. It's horrible.
Okay, what do you have next for us?
Okay, I'm moving on out of candy for just a little bit into Taco Bell, just because this used to be one of my favorite fast food places. But again, they list all of their ingredients in plain sight for you to read, and the Food Babe has highlighted the ingredients here that are horrible for you. And if you look at the ones in black too, I mean, they have maltodextrin right in there. I'm just going to read the ones highlighted. Soybean oil, natural flavors. If you ever see something that says natural flavors on a package, that could be anything. I mean, from something coming from infant humans to horrible things coming from animals. I mean, it could cover a wide spectrum, but they love to just put this on there thinking, oh, it's natural, I can eat it. But no, don't. If it says natural flavors, put it back. So also has something called trehalose. I'm not sure what that is. Bleach enriched wheat flour. Of course, you don't want to be eating something that's been bleached. Shortening, which is intersterified soybean oil, hydrogenated soybean oil, hydrogenated cottonseed oil. If you watched our class a couple months ago, Noble went over all of the oils, and these were some of the worst that's on the list. Sodium acid, pyrophosphate, mono and diglycerides, fumaric acid, cellulose, not to mention all the other stuff that's in here. I'm just reading the ones in red. Calcium propionate. There's another natural flavors again. Xanthan gum, malic acid, Torula yeast. There's just so many horrible ingredients in here when it's pretty easy to make your own. If you have your own grass-fed beef, if you want to have a beef burrito, or get the vegetarian beans that's already in the can, refried beans, it's very easy to make. You just mix it with some chili powder, heat up the tortilla, put your own cheese on, and you don't have to go to Taco Bell.
Wait, why is it some of the stuff that's in red and some are in black?
Oh, that's what I was saying at the beginning. The Food Babe has highlighted the ones that are really bad for you in red, but that doesn't mean the ones in black are not bad for you.
Yeah, like sunflower oil and maltodextrin, right?
I
Those
went
are
over
bad
that,
for you.
yeah.
So,
I talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it should have been in red. So a lot of those things should be in red, right?
Yeah, like maltodextrin right there. Yeah, good point, honey.
Okay.
Okay, next one. This was, I used to order these all the time. The Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Yeah.
They're so
Let's go get
good.
some.
But now knowing what's in it, I can't eat this anymore. There's, I can't even say this word, interesterified soybean oil shown to promote weight gain, impair glucose tolerance, and increase liver cellular stress markers. So if you want to really hurt your liver, eat some of these. There's carrageenan, thickener and emulsifier linked to digestive issues and cancer, hydrogenated cottonseed oil made from the industrial waste from cotton farming.
Eek.
So if you see anything that has cottonseed oil, stay away. It's laden with harmful pesticides.
Very close to canola oil.
Calcium propionate disrupts the metabolism and can promote weight gain, which increases the risk of type 2 diabetes.
Ooh.
Cellulose gum and gel, usually made from wood, linked to weight gain, inflammation, and digestive problems.
Wow. Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
I know.
Yeah, I remember Ken used to say that Taco Bell was the safest of all the fast food chains. I guess they're not, huh?
Well, that just makes me wonder what's in all the rest of the fast food chains if this is supposed to be the safest.
Mm.
I used to think so too, but Taco Bell, Taco Hell kind of sounds the same. All right, so this is a way, this is a great recipe. If you want to go back and save this on your screen, a fast food burrito you can make right at home. You could get Ezekiel grain, sprouted grain tortillas, a can of black beans, drain and rinse, 2 cups of salsa, make sure you get the organic one, not Tostitos, and 3 ounces raw goat cheese, plus chili powder to taste, and half an onion chopped. And you just combine all of that except for the tortillas, and then you see how delicious it looks. I'd like to put avocado on mine too, like guacamole. All right, this is a list showing you what these ingredients, these are very common in fast food and also in packaged things you'll find in the grocery shelf. TBHQ, a synthetic preservative that may harm the immune system and promote food allergies. Corn syrup, a heavily processed form of sugar typically made from the starch of GMO corn. Artificial flavors, chemical mixtures produced in a lab with various chemicals. Natural flavors, this is what I was talking about earlier. Proprietary mixtures produced in a lab that make food taste irresistible so that you keep coming back for more. So in other words, they make you addicted to it.
Yeah.
PGPR, a cheap emulsifier used to replace more expensive cocoa butter. Reese's and Hershey's both came out with organic versions without any of those crazy ingredients. That just proves that they can use better ingredients and that using chemicals like TBHQ and PGPR are not necessary to make chocolate. So here's an example. Reese's has the TBHQ and PGPR we just read about. Hershey's, Snickers has corn syrup and artificial flavors, but they now have organic versions, which kind of makes me laugh. It makes me sad too, because it took how long and how many generations of people eating the conventional Reese's to realize that PGPR with soy lecithin and TBHQ are included on purpose. It doesn't even change the taste or anything, and you could have everything organic. And so they're finally coming out and realizing more people are buying organic, which is a good thing. And here's the comparison again with a conventional Hershey bar versus a organic Hershey bar. And again, you can see the difference. They immediately take out the soy lecithin and the PGPR natural flavors.
So they've been feeding us all this chocolate for all these years, knowing it's not good for us, and now they have an organic.
For those people that have consumed candy their entire lives, I'm not one of them. I did for several years and I got really sick. But you can, like Noble was saying, you can change this for your children and for your grandchildren, and you can share this with your friends, and just make people aware of what these ingredients really are. Because I noticed too at grocery stores, they always put the candy right at the checkout line, and they put them at eye level for the children who are shopping with their parents, so that when they're going out, they see all of this stuff all around them. And
Right.
when I used to go shopping with my mom, she used to hold her hand over my eyes so I couldn't see any of the magazines with the creepy celebrities on it or any of the candy on the other side. It just kind of pushed me through to the end.
Oh,
But
that's funny.
but that's all I got. So
Wow.
it's your turn, hon, if you want to come up.
Are there any questions from our Discord audience?
We don't have
Oh,
Discord.
not Discord, I should say.
Do you have questions on the chat?
YouTube chat.
Anyone have questions
a lot of
about
comments,
anything?
A lot of people talking.
Good, that's cool. I think that our group is really aware and very careful about what they put in their bodies overall, so I really like that about everyone who tunes into our channel. You're already aware of the corruption, and hopefully you've made changes in your diet too, like we have. I still have to take some candy bars away from Noble every once in a while, but he's doing pretty good with his diet too.
Well, but man, all the bags of candy out in Walmart right now, for Halloween. That's gonna be a hard sell.
Yeah. And they purposely drive the prices up too, right before Halloween or before any other of the other satanic holidays that they have during the year, like Christmas, Easter. They purposely drive the prices up, and then of course you notice right after the holiday's over, everything is 50% off, then 75% off, and then it's gone. So don't waste your money. Do not waste your hard-earned money on this stuff.
Yeah, and plus for health purposes.
Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you in the chat.
Thanks, honey. Good job. Hi, everybody. That was so good. That's so interesting. It's again just part of the information that we want to share with all of you. Sometimes you don't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. I mean, I love candy, but sugar is so dangerous also for you, and I'm going to do a special on that. That and diabetes. I know, was it Shay that wanted me to talk about diabetes? Yeah, still working on that, Shay. Give me some time. And again, we're just being blindsided by all these manufacturing companies because of the fact that they want to make a profit. And actually, I think it's more than just making a profit, because they'll still make money even if they put the good organic ingredients in. I think that large corporations like this are actually run by, ultimately by Hasatan himself, and because of his agenda that he wants to do away with the human race because he doesn't like them, humans, has nothing to do with them. This is, I think, part of the Georgia Guidestones was that rule or commandment that we want to reduce the world population. I really believe that's what it's all about, and so, it's so sad. So again, what do we do, right? What do we do with that? Here I am. Okay. All right, guys. Page 25. Let's go back to here. I'm gonna talk about this book. I've, in a lot of our shows on Stop the Pain, talking about organ health and disease and issues with, again, our bodies. A lot of this is coming from this book, Healing is Voltage, the handbook by Dr. Jerry Tennant. and I actually put the cart after the before the horse, because I never actually went through the very beginning of the book, and because some people will probably say, well, what does that mean? Healing is voltage, and what's it all about? And it doesn't sound as interesting, but it's actually very interesting. And so today I want to actually go to the beginning of the book, the introduction, and share with you what this book is about. Some of you have the book, some of you have not gotten it yet, and yet it's not your typical medical book. This is actually a new paradigm. It's Dr. Tennant mentions that, but I want to go into this so that you can understand where he's coming from, and now you'll have some understanding as to why I'm using this book to share a lot of the health issues that we're going through, as far as again, the things that we're lacking in nutrition, the things that we should be getting in nutrition, and foods, and this is just a part of it. So with that, why don't I just go ahead and start reading, and you can read with me. Again, this is very important. So, Lisa, I forgot my cup of water. Sorry. Or where's my canister?
It should be right there.
Right in front of you,
Oh,
Right there.
behind the computer.
oh, there it go.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. Okay.
that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, guys. Kind of thirsty. You never realize how dry you get talking and speaking until you do it. Okay, introduction. Although modern medicine provides ever increasing efficiency in emergency medicine. Now, remember what it says, emergency medicine. Once you get out of the waiting room and actually get care, it's actually not bad. I mean, if you need emergency help, that's what they're good for. But the results of care for chronic disease, and chronic disease, again, is something that, when it comes to illnesses, is something that stays with you or comes back very often and naturally never really goes away, so you're stuck with it. So the results of chronic care for chronic disease in the U.S. is on par with third world nations, according to the World Health Organization. How's that? Huh? I thought we were supposed to be first rate, and we're not. So this book suggests a different paradigm, as I mentioned earlier, for the care of chronic disease, based on the recognition that we must constantly, and listen to this, make new cells to replace those that are worn out or damaged. So really what it's all about is making new cells in our body, biological cells. Okay? Chronic disease occurs when we lose the ability to make new cells that work. Oh, do you hear that? When we lose the ability to make new cells work, that is the definition for chronic disease. To reverse chronic disease, we must look for reasons that we have lost the ability to make new cells work. Making new cells requires, now you have to bear with me here, minus 50 millivolts of energy. Okay, now this is the thing that I was talking about. This is what the book means, healing is voltage. We're all electrical creatures, and millivolts is very, very small, minute amount of energy, and yet our cells, which are, when you look in a microscope, are very small too, they still need millivolts of energy to reproduce or to sustain themselves. What else do we need? The new cells also needs amino acids to make the inside of the cells, and some amino acids, especially the essential amino acids, does not come from any nutrients. It only comes from foods that you eat, dietary foods, right? Fats are also needed to make the outside of the cells. So look at that. The inside of the cell needs amino acids. The outside needs, again, fats, and we're talking healthy fats. Vitamins and minerals, these are your supplements to make the metabolic processes work. In other words, your metabolism requires vitamins and minerals, okay? Oxygen. In other words, we need to breathe, and we need to breathe deeply sometimes. A fuel system, which is your fats and glucose, okay? And it's glucose, sugars. Sugars comes from the foods that we eat. And Lisa just went over the bad sugars, so do not eat those type of glucose, okay? A sewage system to get rid of waste proteins, which is your lymphatic system. Your lymph nodes all over your body. If your doctor ever says, we need to surgically remove some of your lymph nodes, you tell them why. You're going to screw up and mess up my waste removal system. And then in the brain, we also have this thing called the glymphatic system, where in the brain we also have toxins to be removed as well. Okay, Lisa?
I just wanted to mention I had a friend that the doctor talked her into getting two of her lymph nodes removed. But when they do that surgery, not only are they compromising your entire immune system, but they put these metal pins in to hold it open. And so when she goes through security or when she gets any scans, they see these two metal pins, and then you have to schedule another surgery to get those removed. So it's just, don't ever get your lymphs removed. They're like the last thing that helps to push all the toxins out of your body. And so you can clean them pretty easily just by switching your diet and rejuvenating your cells like Noble's teaching.
Yeah. And the sad thing is that you told your friend that before she had the surgery, and she did it anyway. And now she regrets it. Lisa's given advice to many ladies, I should say, and they have not sometimes listened to her advice, and they ended up regretting it. We're here to help you guys out, you know what I mean? But if you don't want to take advice, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? So, let's see, where was I? Oh, okay. And lastly, a system to protect us from infections, okay? And again, what is that system? That's your immunity, your immune system, okay? Because why? It's a way to get rid of toxic substances, okay? Again, we need all these things to make new cells, okay? And when you think about it, without it, we're gonna mess up ourselves. Almost all chronic diseases are characterized by low voltage. Did you know that? See, this was amazing when I read this part. All chronic diseases characterized by low voltage. This doesn't mean that you're gonna go stick your finger inside the outlet. Okay, Patrick, stay away from the outlet, okay? Just as the new Mercedes without a battery isn't going anywhere, a body without a functional electrical system doesn't work either. So therefore, the title of this book is Healing is Voltage. The main things that control voltage, guess what? The thyroid hormone. Whoa, I just talked about thyroid not too long ago. Fulvic acid, okay? Dental infections, scars, and exercise. These are some of the main things that are, again, required to control voltage, okay? The body's primary source of amino acid is the stomach acid, breaking proteins into amino acids. You cannot be well without stomach acid. And yet, when you sometimes have this, what do you call it, heartburn, and your friends or your doctors will say, well, just take some Tums or some Rolaids or some Zantac or something to reduce your stomach acids. Guess what? You're going to do more damage to you than heartburn will ever do to you, okay? So keep that in mind. Your body needs stomach acids, okay? And the body's source of fats is bile. And where does bile come from? We did a show on liver and gallbladder system, you know, allowing fat to be absorbed. Surprisingly, now remember this, everything's interconnected. The production of bile is based on stomach acid. So do not take Pepto-Bismol, I forgot to mention that pink stuff, okay? Because it ain't gonna do you any good when you do away with your stomach acid, all right? You're gonna mess yourself up even more so, okay? I mentioned fulvic acid earlier. There's also humic acid. That's also part of the system that controls the vitamins and minerals that we take in, as well as being a source of amino acids. Why? Because farming today is not what it used to be before. And the farming practices, they put little fulvic and humic acid in the ground that they farm, which is again what the plants need when they start to grow, the very plants that we eat. So like I said, nutritional foods, especially farm foods, are not what they used to be anymore. So now we have to take supplements such as fulvic acid or humic acid, and really look into it. This is something that your body needs, and so keep that in mind. I mentioned that oxygen, breathing is important. Oxygen is dependent upon iron and hemoglobin to carry it to the cells. Again, humic and fulvic acid are in control of minerals, including iron. Vitamin C is also necessary to absorb iron. Circulation is also necessary for the blood to carry oxygen, and much of the circulation is controlled again by nitric oxide. And you got to remember this too now. when you get older, when you're getting into your sunset years, your senior years, too much iron is not good for you. Iron that's in your blood. You actually have to reduce the iron that's in. And it's been mentioned that you should actually mention in Dr. Mercola, Joseph Mercola says that he gives blood regularly on a weekly basis, not just monthly basis, weekly basis, because that when you have too much iron when you're old, it actually now causes health issues as well. Keep that in mind for anybody that's over 18. No, I'm kidding. That's my age, 60 plus, okay? Much of the digestive process that provides fats and glucose is controlled by stomach acid, since it's stomach acid that tells the pancreas to make the enzymes necessary to digest our food. And this is again where we also take this supplement called digestive enzymes, because sometimes that has been our stomach acid or our digestive process has been compromised, especially by the foods that we eat, especially if now that they are GMO, gluten contained and whatnot. The body can't break it down like it used to when nutritious food. So we're not getting all the nutrients that we should be. So funny how the stomach acid has a direct hotline to the pancreas. Yep. No Tums, no Rolaids, no again Pepto-Bismol or Zantac. Okay, guys. Since we are a portable system, we must have our battery system that provides voltage as we move about. Our muscles are voltage generators as well as rechargeable batteries. However, this system only works when we are moving and exercising. Do you hear that? Moving and exercising. And a funny thing is that our family chiropractor, Dr. Tiffany, told me yesterday that Noble, if you don't move, you're not. That's not good for you. You need to move. We're made to move, okay? And exercising is part of moving. If you're not moving, you're not living. If you're not living, you're not alive. Okay, you need to move, even if you can't. I mean, this message even goes to Zen. In his situation, he can still move what limbs he can. Move something and do it. That way, you recharge your batteries, get your voltage generators going. Okay, so without exercise, our battery system goes dead. Wow. In addition, it is exercise that activates our lymphatic system to remove waste proteins from dead cells from our body. Without exercise, our sewage backs up. So there again. And have you ever noticed that, especially in like Chinatown, and I use the Chinese as a model, a lot of older Chinese people are always moving. They're doing Tai Chi, they're walking, they're stretching, they're doing all sorts of things. And I'm talking about 70, 80, 90-year-old Chinese seniors that are slim because they actually have a very good diet. They exercise. I mean, they're not overweight, they're not obese, for most of them anyway. So again, they know something that we should actually be participating in, okay? And remember, like the battery system goes dead when you don't, same thing with the car. If you're not driving your car, the alternator cannot charge up your battery. So without driving, your battery is going to go dead. Our body, same thing. If we're not moving, our battery goes dead. Okay, hope you like that analogy. So Dr. Tennant says that this book begins the process of your understanding what things you must do to make new cells, which is what will defeat chronic disease. You must stop thinking about having heart disease, indigestion, heartaches, a gallbladder problem, etc., Yul Brenner, and trying to find a solution for that particular disease or symptom. You must ask the question, why can't I make new cells that work? And that's actually the underlying question that we should be asking ourselves every day. When you find the answer, you know what to do to get well. It all starts when you start thinking like an electrician instead of a physician. Whoa, really? Be an electrician, not a physician. Check the voltages in the wiring system of the body, and that's the acupuncture system, okay? And you will be on your way to finding the problem and its solution. All right? Now, this is again the end of the introduction. I need you to understand who is this guy, Jerry Tennant, that's giving us a new paradigm. Well, I'm going to go to it right now because Jerry Tennant graduated as a valedictorian of high school at age 16, just like my wife Lisa. They're both in the same boat. They're both smarter than they should be. Okay, Dr. Tennant completed his junior and senior years simultaneously by taking home study courses and completed college except for 3 hours in 2.5 years at Texas Tech University. He received his Phi Kappa Phi Award and the Pre-Med of the Year Award. Smart guy. He attended the University of Houston School of Optometry before medical school. He was accepted into Southwestern Medical School at age 19. And he graduated at the top 10 at age 23. 23, I was smoking and surfing. And this guy's already graduating from med school. So gosh, some guys are just meant to have it, you know what I mean? And I wasn't smoking cigarettes, by the way, just to let you know that, Tammy. Okay. He completed a residency in ophthalmology at Harvard Medical School in Massachusetts, eye and ear infirmity, and at the Southwestern Medical School Parkland Hospital System between 1965 and 1968. He's board certified in ophthalmology and ophthalmic plastic surgery. He was the director of the ophthalmic, trying to get these hard words out, plastic surgery clinic at Parkland Hospital. He was the director now. He was the founder and director of the Dallas Eye Institute. He has a doctorate of natural medicine license from the Pastoral Medical Association, and he is licensed in Arizona by the Board of Homeopathic and Alternative Medicine. Okay, so this is actually very important, the homeopathic and alternative medicine as well, because this is something that's outside the realm of the standard or normalized medical school. He's also got this as well. Okay, he holds patents for medical devices, including intraocular lenses, surgical instruments, and other things, etc., etc. Okay. He was co-founder of the Outpatient Ophthalmic Surgical Society and taught most of the ophthalmologists how to do outpatient eye surgery in the 1980s. What? Taught most of the ophthalmologists. And you know, ophthalmologist is different from optometrist, right? Optometrists just do with the vision, you know, getting your glasses or contact lenses measured and done. Ophthalmology is where you have diseases in the eyes, okay, your health of your eyes, okay?
Yeah, you know,
It's ironic, that picture that you showed of the Dallas Eye Institute, I've been there.
Oh, really?
When I was like, I think 8 years old.
Wow.
I had a lot of issues with my eyes and gone through glasses since I was like 5 years old, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
my parents took me there.
Oh, wow.
And then I've also been to this one too, Hawaiian Eye
Hawaiian?
in Wahiawa.
Yeah, wow.
That was where my eye doctor was.
Where's Hawaiian Eye located? In Hawaii.
In
Whoa,
Wahiawa.
very observant. Yeah, in Wahiawa, okay.
My hometown.
And Dr. Corboy, yeah, I know that name.
yeah.
Again, so let's see. Thank you, Annie. Dr. Tennant was also one of the first surgeons in the United States to place intraocular lenses in eyes after cataract surgery, and he taught these techniques around the world. So, again, he's one of the few that received awards, the Corboy Award for advancements in ophthalmology. He received, these are all accolades that's given to him. Oh, and this I gotta mention. The Order of Saint Sylvester is intended to award Roman Catholic laymen who are actively involved in the life of the church, particularly as it is exemplified in the exercise. Well, so he got the Order of Saint Sylvester. Is that the Roadrunner Sylvester? You know, beep beep. You know, and Sylvester. Well, I'm messing around. But he says that he is not Catholic, but they also conferred his awards to non-Catholics, and he just wanted to say that he was given his Order of Saint Sylvester by who? Pope Benedict the 16th in July 2008. Now, you know, hopefully he's not all that the kind. Buddy with him is just an award, but Pope Benedict and any of the popes are questionable. Okay, if you ask me. Right. Oh, he was also given a military order of St. James of the Sword. Now, if you ask me, I thought Peter had the sword, not James. Okay, because Peter sliced off the servant of Caiaphas, servant, right? So there's a problem with that. He works extensively in the Tennant Institute of Pastoral Medicine and Ecclesiastical Private Expressive Association. He's got his own business going. Okay, this guy is so smart. All right. He practiced ophthalmology in 1964 to 1995, and he did much of the FDA study for the VISX, the Vsix excimer laser. Okay, he performed about 1,000 cases in the United States and about 2,000 cases abroad from 1991 to 1995. That's a lot of laser surgery. Okay, and now. And what is that excimer laser? What does it do? It removes tissue from the cornea's internal layers. Okay, so this is again. But here is the story that we should all pay attention to. What he didn't know at the time was that the laser did not kill viruses. So whenever he was doing laser, optical laser, the laser would strike the cornea, release the viruses, and they would float upward through his mask into his nose and into his brain. He developed encephalitis, neuropathies, and a low platelet count, and other nervous system defects in 1994. He could see a patient to diagnose what was wrong with them, but then he couldn't remember how to write a prescription. Now we're looking at a borderline, if not genius, and now he can't even remember how to write the prescription. This is how he got affected by his job. So he developed spastic movements that prevented him from safely performing eye surgery. Can you imagine you're doing eye surgery, then all of a sudden you get this spastic movement, chop chop chop, and your eyes sliced up like ahi at a what do you call it? Sushi bar. Thank you, Isaac. No, he had to quit. He had to give up his occupation. He quit work on November 30, 1995. That's his story, okay? And it's amazing, okay? So here he is. This is a national photograph of Dr. Tennant with his associate working on the patient that released the viruses that he inhaled. Now, it's not the patient's fault, okay? But this patient actually started him on a new path. First of all, by infecting him with his disease, okay? He was so sick that for 7 years he laid in bed. And you see his two dogs? See one by the head and one by his pancreas? Guess what? For almost 7 years, he slept 16 hours per day. That's more than Lisa. That's pretty sick, okay? And remember that he had viruses in the brain and viruses in his spleen. Not his spleen, not pancreas. His dog Pooh would curl up next to, dog Tigger would sleep by his head, and his dog Pooh would curl up next to his spleen. They seemed to know where my voltage was low, and they were my constant electron donors. Whoa, wait a minute, electron donor, what's that? Guess what? You're about to get your world shaken and shook, because what he is going to share with us is something you've probably never heard of before. I never heard of it, and that's why I actually wanted to share this new paradigm.
Did you talk about this?
No, I did not talk about the beginning of the book. I touched on it, but never actually touched on the book.
You told us on the side.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember you talking about all of his achievements and accolades.
well, no, achievement and accolade, but now we're gonna go.
I'll show you the video.
We're going to go over the new medical paradigm. And again, the purpose of this book is to suggest a new paradigm for Western medicine. And again, Western medicine does not have the answers to it. And if you think that way, well, good luck. Our best wishes, okay? Many think that the paradigm we have is the best in the world. That simply isn't true, he says. Our health care system is in a disaster, both in outcomes and affordability. It is true that we have some amazing techniques to help people, such as trauma surgery, cataract surgery, imaging techniques, etc., etc. But our results in chronic disease and cancer are a dismal failure at best. exclamation point. It should be an exclamation point in his book. Paradigm. How is that defined? One that serves as a pattern or model. Number 2, a set of assumptions, concepts, values, and practices that constitutes a way of viewing reality for the community that shares them, especially in an intellectual discipline. Okay, that's a paradigm. Despite the popular myth that the United States has the best medical care in the world, the opposite is true. The United States is ranked 37th in the world by the HWO. And they're also a big question mark, the HWO, okay? The World Health Organization's ranking of the world's... WHO. World Health Systems was last produced in 2000, and the WHO no longer produces such a ranking table because of the complexity of the task. The WHO has carried out the first ever analysis of the World Health Systems and using 5 performative indicators to measure health systems in 191 member states. It found that France provides the best overall health care system, followed among major countries, again, Italy, Spain, Oman, Austria, and Japan. Yeah, those are the top nations. We're ranked 37th. Okay, so if you want to go get some health, your health checked out in the United States, you're going to the 37th, if that's still even true today, a health report. And again, just to show you what's going on there, here's the chart. I know it's a little small. France, Italy, San Marino, number 3, Andorra, number 4, Malta, 5, Singapore, 6, Spain, 7, Oman, 8. I mean, who number 3, San Marino, where's that? Andorra, number 4, where's that? I mean, and they're better than the United States, and many of you probably never even heard of those nations. Okay, that's how bad it is. Okay, I'm gonna get past this. Again, we're just terrible. Okay, WHO Director General Dr. Brundtland says the main message from this report is that the health and well-being of people around the world depend critically on the performance of the health systems that serve them. Yet there is a wide variation in performance even among countries with similar levels of income and health expenditure. It is essential for decision makers to understand the underlying reasons so that system performance and hence the health of populations can be improved. Guess what? Nobody in the United States is listening to this. They don't care about this. They're making money just like they want to, and they are actually keeping you and I at their doorstep because why? We're never really being healed. Chronic disease is still there. Okay, so our Western medical paradigm assumes that when an organ fails to perform adequately, it can only be corrected by finding a chemical drug to make it work or remove it surgically. As we will discuss, the Western medical paradigm is based in chemistry and on Newtonian concepts. Oh, okay, so I touched on it. Well, man, big deal, Isaac. Some people never heard of this or saw that part, okay?
No, just
All right. Okay, so here we go. An often overlooked truth is that we tend to get well by making new cells, not by correcting those that are malfunctioning. We replace the rods and cones in our retina every 48 hours. Okay, so in our retina, rods and cones are replaced every 48 hours. The lining of our intestines is replaced every 3 days. We replace our skin every 6 weeks, our liver every 8 weeks, our nervous system every 8 months. Nervous system, okay, 8 months. Our bones every year. This brings nutrition into clearer focus. If we're going to make good cells, we must have good raw materials to make them. In addition, we must not be missing necessary components. If we build a new house from material taken from a house that was torn down because of termite damage, the new house will not be very good, won't be a very good one. If we build new cells from recycled materials, the new cells may not be any better than the ones that are worn out. Okay? You get the point? So if we build a house and we don't have any shingles, the house won't be a good house. If we build a house that's missing a critical component like vitamin C, it may not work correctly. To be healthy, we must eat quality food that is not filled with preservatives and toxins. And what do most foods have today? And Patrick was saying that he reads the labels all the time. Guess what? Preservatives and toxins, right, Patrick? When was the last time that your doctor told you about the dangers of trans fat, synthetic sweeteners, and fluoride, etc., etc.? I don't think doctors ever even mention that. Okay? They don't. They do not. Many doctors are required to see 50 to 60 patients a day. Remember, Dr. Tennant was a doctor too, to have enough income to keep your offices open and pay the corporations that hire them. It is impossible to do much more than write a prescription and move on to the next patient. Yeah, don't you find yourself always waiting in the waiting room? You get there early or you get there on time, you still have to wait half an hour to see a doctor. Then they stick you in the office, the doctor's office, or the patient room for what? 5 minutes, because when the doctor eventually gets to you, he sees you, talks to you, 5 to 10 minutes later, bam, he's on to the next patient. I experienced that. Lisa experienced. Do you experience that? 5 to 10 minutes. I'm being generous. Okay, I'm being generous. All right. So when you go to a doctor, he or she will likely order a complete blood count, a urine analysis, and a comprehensive medical profile. Tests for liver and kidney function, glucose, minerals, etc., and a blood fat analysis. If these tests come back normal, the doctor will tell you that you are fine, that your complaints are all in your head. Yeah, okay. If you persist on complaining about your health, you will likely be sent to a psychiatrist. How nice is that? Okay. All right. And again, I'm going to stop here. And because the next part talks about economics versus science. Again, it's about making money and not versus making people well. And a lot of times it's been, if you have that to choose from, it goes back to economics. It's about making money. It's not about making people well. And like I said, they keep you at the front door. They don't heal you. Why? You are their cash cow. If you get healed and you don't see them anymore, guess what? Then they have to get new patients. Ever notice that some doctors are not taking new patients? Why? Because they get their cash cow going already. They have too many patients to see, and they are happy. They're making money from you. And at what expense? Your health expense. Lisa?
It's amazing to look at if you look at your insurance bill sometimes when it comes in the mail, and you see how much that they make, and they only see you for maybe 10 minutes at the maximum. And imagine if you had a business where you could just talk to someone, write out a piece of paper for them, just see them for like 10 minutes and make $200. And then you're seeing, can you imagine how many patients that they see every day? Say that they see even 20 patients a day for $200 each.
That's $4,000.
That's like $4,000 per day
Per day.
that they get paid from.
How's
the
that?
insurance.
One day. I like to make $4,000 in one day.
And then not to mention the dialysis patients. When I looked at the bill from
My mom.
from Noble's mom when she went to dialysis, yeah, it's like $13,000 a month that the insurance pays the dialysis center. So that's why they have them popping up all over the place. It's horrible.
Yeah.
The money.
Well, again, I don't want to go too long, but again, I wanted to share that with you because when I'm sharing this book, I want you to understand that this is not the normal practice of physicians.
Yeah.
And although he was a physician, he's actually gone outside of the so-called code of physicians to bring a again alternative option to you and to us, because I believe that this is where true healing can come from, is the alternative homeopathic options that we have before us. So keep in mind that again, we're here to just offer a lot of assistance, and this by means that we're not medical experts. Again,
No,
we didn't have the
but-
disclaimer on, but the disclaimer is that we're not medical experts, and we claim not to be. We just want to offer research and advice to you, that you can do your necessary research for your situation.
Yeah.
And that again, this is just a forum to share And I know a lot of you also share with us, and we glean a lot from you guys, and we're thankful that we have such a group, awesome group of believers. You know, not only in alternative homeopathic medicine, but also believers in Yeshua, because true healing starts with Him, and Him foremost. All the other stuff follows. Okay, and again, with that combination, how can you go wrong? I mean, we got the Almighty God on our side. We're sealed with the Holy Spirit, and then we have alternative options, the way that we should be here. Because God is the one that created us. He's the one that designed us. He's the one that maintains us.
Yeah.
Right, babe?
And we're the temple.
And our temples are His creation, and He knows how best for we to serve Him through our temples. And He wants good, healthy temples.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Again, so again, we praise God for all of you, and I thank you again. I thank my son for being our technical advisor and provider, and Lisa again, my partner in life and my soulmate. Again, we're here to help serve you. So if you have any questions or comments, shoot it our way, and again, we'll see you guys next week.
It's coming Saturday.
Saturday, and then
Yeah.
Tuesday, and then we're going to go on our
Monthly.
monthly
Little break.
Shabbat. Yeah.
We'll be back here, same place,
Yeah.
Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern,
No, wait. When is daylight savings?
November 6th.
November 6th. Oh, we're still got a ways to go.
A little bit late
Okay.
this year.
Yeah, kind of late, but thank you for everybody from Adrian from Australia, all the way to who's out there now?
Patrick in Kentucky,
Patrick in Kentucky.
Tammy in Ohio, Marva in Maui. Big shaloha from all of us.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for joining us.
and thank you again,
Did you wanna
everybody
close
else.
in prayer?
Shay, Betty, and
Yeah.
gosh, I'm trying to remember all the names that's on YouTube. But thanks again.
Alex is there.
Alex is there. No
Yeah.
way. Hey,
Amen.
what happened to the mustache fund, buddy?
He got what he wanted.
You got the mustache already. That's it.
I like how you're a good guy, man. But thank you everybody for
And
joining
Stevie.
us.
Stevie
Yeah,
mentioned.
Stevie. Yep. And again, for Shay, we will get to the diabetes thing. Okay, just give me a little bit more time. Shalom, aloha, and let's pray. Okay, Father, you're a good God. You're an awesome God. We're thankful that you, the one and only, lead us, Lord, into the promised land. And in the process, Lord, you're showing us, Lord, the dangers of going off the path. We ask that you keep us on the path, Lord, the narrow path which leads to you. And we ask that you would, Lord, continue to work with us, and that you would assist us and help us when we cry out to you. And that, Lord, for all the people out there that are hurting and suffering, Lord, I pray that these will be part of the answers to your healing process, Lord, because you are the great physician, and there's none that can beat you. So, Lord, for those that need supernatural, miraculous help, we lift them up to you, Lord, right now, that you would, again, just bat an eyebrow, give a wink, cast a glimpse at the person, Lord, crying out to you, and that they will be healed. We know that that happens. And when it doesn't happen, Lord, then we fall back on the alternative options, the homeopathic ways of good eating, good dieting, and Lord, the plants and that you've given us to consume so that we can be healed. We thank you so much, Lord, for all of this. And we give you all the praise and glory and honor. We, Lord, again, bow our knees. Our tongues will confess that there is none like you, that you are the one true living God. Thank you again. In Yeshua's name we pray. We all say amen and amen.
All
Thank you
right.
again. All right,
Have
everybody.
a good week, everyone.
I love you all.
Shaloha.
Shalom.
for your patronage.